In this episode of The Frieze, the Yankees have won 9 straight games, but the schedule is about to get a lot tougher. We'll talk about the amazing season that Aaron Judge is having, preview the Blue Jays series, check in on the farm, and of course your voicemails. I'm Derek, and this is The Frieze.
Good afternoon. How do you like that?
And a miss on 2-2.
A couple of Saturdays ago, the Yankees absolutely wasted a gem from Nestor Cortes Jr. because they couldn't hit. They bounced back slightly against Detroit, and since then, they've gone absolutely ballistic. 9 straight wins as of the time of this recording, and 10 games over 500 so far. Last year, that didn't happen until they were 59-49 after a win against Seattle on August 5th. So yeah, May 1st is better. Aaron Judge, 2 more home runs yesterday. He's making it look easy. He's got 8 on the season in 22 games. He hit the first one into Bo Jackson territory, and then he hit the second one to the opposite field on a 98-mile-an-hour sinker. I mean, what? Is this guy even human? If you do the math, and I did, Aaron Judge is on pace for 59 home runs. Oh, and by the way, he's hitting 300. He's striking out a lot less, and he's the best backup center fielder in the league. The man is going to get paid, and paid well. I just hope it's by the Yankees. A lot of things have gone right this season that could have gone wrong. Among them, Isiah Kiner-Falefa doing an outstanding job. He's hitting over 300 and making all the plays at shortstop, picking up big hits and running the bases well, adding a spark of energy, exactly what the Yankees were looking for. Yesterday was not Luis Severino's best outing of the year, but he was damn resilient. He got into trouble early, kind of battled a little bit, but put himself together, settled down, and kept the Yankees in the game. His final line was 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. His ERA on the season is 3.75, but he's really pitched better than that, if you ask me. I bet he finishes in the 3 to 3.25 range. Sorry there was no recap, by the way, yesterday. I generally don't do weekend games. Last night I went to dinner with my wife, and it was a disaster. The waiter screwed up my order, didn't take down my order on paper, didn't write it down when I was giving it, and I remember having this feeling of dread. Like, are you really going to remember all this? And of course they didn't. That's what I get for not doing a recap. Mike King, I mean, what can you say? The guy has got to be a top 5 relief pitcher in all of baseball at this point. Are you kidding me with this guy? One of my buddies brought up a moment in The Last Dance where Mike Jordan became Michael Jordan. Well, Mike King is now becoming Michael King. Oh, and Aroldis Chapman has not allowed a run yet this season, so the rumors of his demise are a bit overhyped. Just tons of positives all around, and I didn't even get to the fact that Nestor's been nasty. Rizzo is tearing the cover off the ball and picking everything over there at first base. And DJ LeMahieu looks like he's legitimately back, or at least most of the way back, which would be good enough. That being said, I still think there's some areas in which the Yankees could improve. They've gotten almost no offense out of left field at all. However, yesterday, Miguel Andujar steps in and picks up a couple of hits. He was rewarded by being optioned back to AAA after the game, as was Clark Schmidt, who picked up the win. He was also really good. He's looked really good this year, finally fulfilling some of that first-round draft pick promise. Got to think he's the number 6 starter, and if somebody goes down, he's the first one to step in. The Yankees have also gotten almost zero offense out of the catcher position, and I'm encouraged by some of the things that I've seen from Kyle Higashioka over the past couple of days. He had a couple of really good at-bats on Friday night, drew a key walk that led to a rally. He drove the ball to the warning track on Sunday. I think Kyle Higashioka is getting ready to have a mini hot streak. Wouldn't surprise me if he goes deep for the first time at some point during this Toronto series or short after. He's looking a lot better. So how long do we think this win streak is going to last? Personally, I would love for it to go on for about 140 more games or so. Nobody wins them all. And I think that the Blue Jays are going to be the toughest challenge that the Yankees have had during this streak. I think that Alek Manoah in Game 2 of this series is probably the biggest threat to the streak. He is 4-0 with a 1-something ERA. He's filthy. He's shoved against the Yankees every single time he's faced them. To me, he's probably the streak stopper, but that still leaves room to take one and make it a 10-game streak. And you never know. You can't predict baseball. Maybe the Yankees take 2 or 3 in a row from the Blue Jays and go home with a perfect road trip. If you somehow beat Manoah, momentum can be a hell of a drug, and I could see them rattling off 14 or 15 in a row. But first, you've got to get to number 10, and that is tonight. Attention listeners, are you ready to be blown away? You asked for it, and they listened. Our friends at Manscaped just relaunched the Ultra Smooth Package. It's back, baby! I just realized that's a double entendre because the Ultra Smooth Package does just that, makes your package ultra smooth. This will be your new favorite tool to complement the Lawnmower 4.0 to keep your boys smooth while looking and feeling their best. The Ultra Smooth Package includes the Crop Exfoliator, the Crop Gel, and a Crop Shaver. It's a nifty razor. Best of all, NYY Recaps viewers get 20% off and free shipping at Manscaped.com when they use the code NYYRecaps. That's NYYRecaps, all one word, no spaces, and you will get 20% off and free shipping. Manscaped.com, your balls will thank you. All right, so we're through 22 games, and I think that's a big enough sample size that we can take a look at the roster construction and see why we're doing a little bit better this year. And to me, there's a few key areas that have made a difference. The first one is obviously Anthony Rizzo. It was huge to even add a little bit of a left-handed threat in this lineup, but the way he's played has really made the top of this order dangerous because you can't just pitch around everybody. You have got to pitch to either Judge, Rizzo, or Stanton. And right now, having him red hot is giving protection to Aaron Judge, who's seeing better pitches to hit, and he's damaging them. Pretty soon, they're going to have to start pitching around Aaron Judge, and that means that Anthony Rizzo or Giancarlo Stanton is going to see more pitches to hit. Just having a lefty in between those guys is a huge benefit, and now that he's hitting, it just makes him that much more dangerous. If we could get Joey Gallo going, that would be a big deal. Also, talked a little bit about Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, but I want to dig more into what he's given the Yankees so far this season. He's hitting .303, got a .342 on-base percentage. He's got 20 hits so far this year, and that's after a really slow 1-for-17 start. 5 doubles, 7 RBIs, and he's stolen 2 bags. He's gotten caught once. I think the stolen bases are going to come. Baseball Reference already has him as a plus .5 D-WAR on the season, and he's got a 114 OPS plus. So he's been a benefit offensively and defensively. So right now you have to say that trade was a win for the Yankees. Josh Donaldson, the other piece of that trade, has not done much yet, but you have to imagine that should he get going, it just makes the Yankees all that much better. And historically, he's been pretty consistent. So I got to think that he's going to come around. He might be feeling a little bit of the pressure of New York and coming to a new team. We've seen that happen to different players, but I'm still loving the energy that he puts out there. And he's good at third base. He hustles. I like Josh Donaldson. Would love it if he would start hitting. Bringing Tim LaCastro back has been huge. I'm loving what he gives to you both on the bases and defensively. He just changes the whole game when he's on base. You can see that it worries the pitchers. They have to constantly throw over and keep him close. And so far, he's got 3 stolen bases. He's even gone deep one time. He's not a power hitter. And he's just looked great out there in the outfield. So Tim LaCastro coming back was a nice move. Marwin Gonzalez was a nice pickup. Again, you need these type of role players. Jose Trevino looking like a great move. So the offseason so far was not sexy, but it was effective. All right, let's take a look at the Toronto Blue Jays. Obviously, they're good, as advertised. 92 runs scored, 91 runs allowed. They come in at 15-8. They are in second place. They've obviously got the offense. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. terrorized the Yankees when they came to the Bronx. He has slowed down a little bit in terms of his power, but you got to think that he's going to be pumped up for this series, and he knows that he hits the Yankees pitching well, so the Yankees better be careful with him. The Yankees will luckily miss Kevin Gausman in this series, but they do have to face Alek Manoah in Game 2. Manoah is 4-0 with a 1.44 ERA. He's got 25 strikeouts. They have to face Yusei Kikuchi in Game 3 and Ross Stripling in Game 1. I think both of those pitchers are beatable if your offense shows up. George Springer off to a good start. He's another guy who terrorized the Yankees in the Bronx, hitting .289 with 6 home runs and 12 ribbies on the year, .921 OPS. Again, his pace has fallen off slightly since he left town, but he has a history against the Yankees, so got to pitch him carefully. All right, let's talk about the farm team a little bit. Got to start with the Martian tracker. Jason Dominguez, after a really hot stretch, has kind of slowed down and is beginning to slump just a bit. He is at .216, 1 home run, 6 RBIs, 3 stolen bases. What concerns me is that he struck out over 20 times and walked just 3 times, so he's got to have better at-bats going forward. Anthony Volpe is off of the interstate. He is now at .203 with 3 home runs, 13 ribbies, 7 stolen bases. He's been very aggressive when he's getting on base. We're seeing that throughout the Yankees minor league system. I put up a couple of stolen base numbers on the screen. Oswald Peraza, another guy who's swiping bags. He's got 5 steals. He's also off the interstate at AAA, hitting .200, 2 home runs, 6 ribbies. Austin Wells, former first-round draft pick, doing very well at high A. Might see him get promoted to Double A in the near future, hitting .311, 3 home runs, .959 OPS. I saw him throw a runner out the other day, and it looks like his arm is back. We know he's had some elbow injuries in the past, but he looks strong back there this season. Everson Pereira hitting .300, 8 stolen bases, 1 home run, 7 RBIs. Got to think the power is going to come along with him. He is a natural power hitter, but it's good to see these guys running the bases well. And Luis Medina, haven't heard much out of him lately, but he's having a good season. 11 2/3 innings pitched, 16 strikeouts, 2.31 ERA, just a 1.11 walks and hits per innings pitched, or whip. I got to think that he's going to end up in AAA sooner rather than later. And this is a guy with a 100-plus mile-an-hour fastball, so put him on your radar for later this season. Luis Gil really struggling with a 12-plus ERA in AAA. But again, it's early.
Hey, Derek. This is Allison. I saw your tweet about how Aaron Judge was on pace for 59 home runs this season, but I was wondering, do you think he can break Roger Maris's American League record of 61? Thanks. Love your channel. Have a good day.
The short answer to your question is yes, I think he can. He hit 52 as a rookie, and he's become a much better hitter over the last couple of years. And even with the dead ball this season, he's on pace for 59. I think as the weather heats up, he's only going to get better. It's just a matter of whether or not he can stay healthy and who stays healthy around him to get pitches to hit. So I think Aaron Judge has a decent shot if he stays healthy to hit 60-plus home runs, 62, and set the new record. And, of course, that will be expensive for whoever signs him this offseason.
Hey, Derek. Big fan. This is Jack. I think people are forgetting about DJ LeMahieu. We always talk about how Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton are these killers who can put the team on their back when they're healthy and hitting. DJ LeMahieu, he's a stud. He's been red hot this season, and I think it's super great to get to see all three of them click at the same time and really show what this Yankee team can do. I just want to shout out DJ, let him know we all appreciate him. Thanks, Derek.
Play Andujar over LeCastro. The guy can rake. He just needs the reps.
Hey, Derek, this is Alex. Love your channel. I do want to comment on the fact that I think they're definitely prepping Trevino to see how he clicks with Cole, I think, because I'm thinking they're probably sending Higgy back to the minors or maybe put up, a package for a trade. I'm definitely thinking that maybe Torres, Andujar, Gallo, and maybe even one of the minor league shortstops that we have, Oswald Peraza, could potentially be a package, I think, for something, being that IKF is so good and has clicked so well with this lineup, at least at the very start, right? So it'd be nice to take advantage of the high trade value for, well, not so high, but at least some trade value for those guys to see if we can actually improve, maybe something in the, outfield, right? If we can get rid of Gallo.
Just calling to say that I love your show, love the Yankees, but I'm not really feeling the chemistry between John and Carlos. It just doesn't seem like they're very interesting together, not interested in all the old stories. So, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but anyway, keep doing a great job. And again, love your show, love the Yankees, and thanks a lot. Bye.